This will be a wonderful, wonderful transcendental drama. Krishna and Balaram's selfless pastimes in the transcendental land of Vrindavan. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai. Shri Shri Radha-Govinda-Temple ki jai. Jiva-Gosvami. Hari Hari Bol. Humble request, or at least a request, I don't know how humble it is. Requests. If you have a mobile device, Krishna may see it as Agasura, Aristasura. He may come and gobble up your iPhone. Be careful, he'll be on the stage. We humbly ask you turn your mobile phone off. It's, it's a special night. If any of the children get a little bit hungry, and you know when they're hungry? When they cry. I know. When they cry, they're crying, I want a samosa! Ah! You don't know what they're thinking. I know what they're... See? She's thinking, I want a samosa. The lights just... So, we humbly ask, these devotees, they've been here for weeks rehearsing. It's many of our wonderful children also. Wonderful. These devotees, these children were born into Vaishnava families. This is a very high birth. From the time they were born, the first words they heard were Hare Krishna, or if they were listening to one of my messages, was feed him a samosa. Probably Hare Krishna. The first words they heard. And if you talk to a parent of a devotee child, what will they tell you? The first thing he said, the first thing she said was, Prabhupada. Everybody says that. Prabhupada is the first thing they say. And you know then, they come from a very high past to complete the course of Krishna consciousness. That's the children born in any Vaishnava family that are practicing the principles of Krishna consciousness, God consciousness, and training their children how to be wonderful persons also. So all these children you'll see are like that tonight. So you should have special respect and appreciation for this wonderful drama, directed and also Nila-Madhava Prabhu is in this drama. So we humbly request that mobile devices are either put on vibrate or completely turned off. And if the children get impatient, please take them out of the room. Thank you very, very much. Immediately after the drama, just 2 or 3 minutes of announcements, and His Holiness Ramapad Swami Maharaj will be here to speak about the science of Krishna consciousness. Shri Shri Radha-Govinda-Temple ki jai. Shri Krishna Janmastami Mahotsav ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Hurry, hurry, Prabhu. Tell her to put the lights out. Let me get this out of the way, please. Please, let me get this through there, okay? I'm going to get it out of the way. The cable, you're sitting on the cable. Hold it.
Krishna, Hare Krishna. devotees, for the pleasure of Sri Radha-Govinda and all the devotees, the Das Anudas Drama Group presents the selfless, loving pastimes between Krishna, Balaram and the residents of Vrindavan. Dear devotees, my name is Srila Jiva-Gosvami. I was born in the 15th century, and as an instrument of the Lord and my gurus, I have written about the pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. Today, I would like to share with you these sweet pastimes. I would like to describe the pastime of Sri Krishna and Balaram at the end of their tender Kumara age, which is under 5 years of age. In my heart, I worship Krishna and Balaram's age of Kumara, in which they gave up drinking Yashoda Maiya's milk, in which their limbs became well formed, in which their restlessness became prominent, and their long eyes trembled during play, during which they contently laughed and were absorbed in interesting pastimes. Balaram was white with blue cloth, and Krishna was blue with yellow cloth. They became skillful at tying the milking ropes and rattling the milk pails. They were fickle in playing and imparted various emotions of love to their friends. One day, while Krishna was playing with his small playmates, including Balaram and other sons of the Gopas, all his friends came together and lodged a complaint to Mother Yashoda.
Maya, Krishna has eaten earth.
Upon hearing this from Krishna's playmates, Mother Yashoda, who was always full of anxiety over Krishna's welfare, picked Krishna up with her hands to look into his mouth and chastise him. Her eyes fearful, she spoke to her son as follows.
Dear Krishna, why are you so restless that you have eaten dirt in a solitary place? This complaint has been lodged against you by all of your playmates, including your elder brother Balaram. How is this?
My dear Maya, I have never eaten dirt. All my friends complaining against me are liars. If you think they are being truthful, you can look directly into my mouth and examine it.
If you have not eaten earth, then open your mouth wide.
When challenged by his mother in this way, Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, and Yashoda, to exhibit pastimes like a human child, opened his mouth. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is full of opulences, did not disturb his mother's parental affection, his opulence was automatically displayed. For Krishna's opulence is never lost at any stage, but is manifest at the proper time. When Krishna opened his mouth wide by the order of Mother Yashoda, she saw within his mouth all moving and non-moving entities, outer space, and all directions, along with mountains, islands, oceans, the surface of the earth, the blowing wind, fire, the moon, and stars. She saw the planetary systems, water, light, air, sky, and creation by transformation of Ahankara. She also saw the senses, the mind, sense perception, and the three qualities: goodness, passion, and ignorance. She saw the time allotted for the living entities. She saw natural instinct and the reactions of karma. And she saw desires and different varieties of bodies, moving and non-moving. Seeing all these aspects of the cosmic manifestation, along with herself and Vrindavan Dham, she became doubtful and fearful of her son's nature. Mother Yashoda began to argue within herself.
Is this a dream? Or is it an illusory creation by the external energy? Has this been manifested by my own intelligence? Or is it some mystic power of my child? Therefore, let me surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offer my obeisances unto Him, who is beyond the conception of human speculation, the mind. Activities, words, and arguments. Who is the original cause of this cosmic manifestation, by whom the entire cosmos is maintained, and by whom we can conceive of its existence? Let me simply offer my obeisances, for He is beyond my contemplation, speculation, and meditation. It is by the influence of the Supreme Lord's Maya that I am wrongly thinking that Nanda Maharaj is my husband, that Krishna is my son, and that because I am the queen of Nanda Maharaj, all the wealth of cows and calves are my possessions, and all the cowherd men and their wives are my subjects. Actually, I also am eternally subordinate to the Supreme Lord. He is my ultimate shelter.
Mother Yashoda, by the grace of the Lord, could understand the real truth. But then again, the Supreme Master, by the influence of the internal potency, Yogamaya, inspired her to become absorbed in intense maternal affection for her son. Immediately, forgetting Yogamaya's illusion that Krishna had shown the universal form within his mouth, Mother Yashoda took her son on her lap as before, feeling increased affection in her heart for her transcendental child. The glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are studied through the three Vedas, the Upanishads, the literature of Sankhya Yoga, and other Vaishnav literature. Yet, Mother Yashoda considered that Supreme Person her ordinary child. In this way, by exhibiting different pastimes in his childhood, he increased the transcendental pleasure of Nanda and the other inhabitants of Vrindavan. By hearing these pastimes of Krishna and Balaram in Vrindavan, one can purify their mind, body, and soul. One day, Lord Krishna, the liberator of the twin Arjuna trees, was playing with Balaram and the other children on the bank of the Yamuna. And because it was already late in the morning, Rohini, the mother of Balaram, went to call them back home. But Balaram and Krishna were so engrossed in playing with their friends that they did not wish to come back. They just engaged themselves in playing more and more.
Dear Krishna and Balaram, it is time to come home. You have been playing the whole day with the other cowherd boys. Now you must be tired and hungry. Oh ho! Listen to your mother. Let's go now.
When Rohini was unable to take them back home, she went home and sent Mother Yashoda to call them again.
Yashoda ji! Oh Yashoda ji! I could not bring them back home. Krishna and Balaram are being very naughty. Please, call them Yashoda ji.
Mother Yashoda was so affectionate toward her son that as soon as she came out to call him back home, she loudly cried,
My dear child, please come back home. Your time for lunch is already past. My dear Krishna, oh my dear lotus-eyed child, you have played enough. You must be very hungry. My dear little child, you must be tired from playing for so long.
She also addressed Balaram in this way.
My dear, the glory of your family, please come back with your younger brother Krishna immediately. You have been engaged in playing since morning, and you must be very tired. Please come back and take your lunch at home. Your father, Nandaraj, is waiting for you. He has to eat, so you must come back so that he can eat.
As soon as Krishna and Balaram heard that Nanda Maharaj was waiting for them and could not take his food in their absence, they started to return. Their other playmates complained.
Krishna is leaving us just at the point when our playing is at the summit.
this way, Krishna went back home to eat prasadam with Nanda Maharaj. Sometimes Krishna would also eat lunch with the cowherd boys. Their mothers would send other gopis with their lunches at noon. Krishna quickly called his friends by playing his flute, whose notes sounded like human words in order to give them bliss.
My dear friends, please come and have a lunch with me.
When they all gathered, the gopis honored them, put them in lines and had them sit down, placing Krishna and Balaram in the center. Since the boys desired to eat, the gopis served them food in the proper order. For fun, some of the boys criticized the food. They argued with the gopis, and some of the gopis answered back.
Maya, this doll doesn't taste very good. Maya, this rasgulla is not sweet. Oh, I know what happened. You placed the sugar under your pillow to have sweet dreams. How could our own mothers give us such bad tasting food? My belly is going to hurt after eating this.
My child, we know that this prasadam tastes good because we make it the same way always, with love and affection.
You naughty boys! You eat the same prasadam at home and enjoy it. Now because you're all together, you're complaining.
After the amusement of hearing the conversations, a qualified nurse spoke to Krishna when he seemed to refuse the food, in order to give pleasure to the servant boys who could obtain the rejected food.
Carefully, I have brought drinks and delicious food. Rohini has carefully prepared it and sent me. Yashoda has repeatedly ordered me that you should taste the food. You should please us three by eating.
After taking prasadam with his friends, Krishna was instructed by a gopi.
Oh child, please follow your mother's orders and quickly return home. Cowherd boys, you are the life of Yashoda. Please bring Krishna back quickly.
I would like to tell you about a pastime when Krishna would kill the demons. Once, when Krishna and Balaram were playing on the bank of the Yamuna, a demon of the name Vatsasura assumed the shape of a calf and came there intending to kill the brothers. By taking the shape of a calf, the demon could mingle with the other calves. Krishna, however, specifically noticed this, and he immediately told Balaram about the entrance of the demon.
Elder brother, have you seen a calf near the water which did not come with the others in the morning? No, brother. Please examine things carefully. It seems to have a ferocious nature. Oh, elder brother, it is a demon. That is true, since he is suddenly looking after calves and us with a cruel glance. If you give me permission, I will kill him. I fear gossip from the people. On killing him, it will be clear that he is a demon. No one will criticize us. Killer of the enemy, the demon is very devious. Slowly approach him by some trick.
Both brothers then followed him and sneaked up on him. The demon calf by the two hind legs and tail, whipped him around very forcibly and threw him up into a tree. The demon lost his life and fell down from the top of the tree to the ground. When the demon lay dead on the ground, all of the playmates of Krishna congratulated him.
Well done! Well done!
The demigods in the sky began to shower flowers with great satisfaction. In this way, the maintainers of the complete creation, Krishna and Balaram, used to take care of the calves in the morning every day, and thus they enjoyed their childhood pastimes as cowherd boys in Vrindavan. By hearing this pastime, one can begin to destroy the greediness in one's mind. Let us now go to when Krishna was older and would play his flute for the entire creation. Krishna's flute vibrates in 8 different notes. Gods like Lord Brahma interrupt their meditation and forget everything when the first note reaches his ears. The Yamuna River from the north to the south is controlled by the second note, making the river reverse its course. With the third note, Sri Krishna calls 900,000 cows, making them stand still with ears waiting to drink the nectar of this sound. Sri Krishna controls the movement of the air with the fourth note, making the air slow down. When Krishna sweetly plays the fifth note, it goes directly to the gopis' tender hearts, making them eager to meet with him. During his playing of the sixth note, the 5 seasons come together carrying the perfumed aromas of all the seasons. The 7th note melts the stones, and the 8th note of the tireless flute is dedicated to calling Sri Radhe's name. Radhe, Radhe. This note steals her self-control and forces her to meet her beloved Krishna. Kamsa would always send demons to disturb the sweet mood of love between Sri Krishna and Balaram and the inhabitants of Vrindavan by sending demons to kill him. Once, one demon named Aristasur entered the village like a great bull with a gigantic body and horns, digging up the earth with his hooves. When the demon entered Vrindavan, it appeared that the whole land trembled as if there were an earthquake. He roared fiercely, and after digging up the earth on the riverside, he entered the village properly. body was so big, stout, and strong that a cloud hovered over its body just as clouds hover over mountains. Aristasur entered Vrindavan with such a fearful appearance that just on seeing this great demon, all the men and women were afflicted with great fear. And the cows and other animals fled the village. The situation became very terrible, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan began to cry,
Krishna, Krishna, please save us!
Krishna also saw that the cows were running away, and he immediately replied,
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You are the lowest of living entities. Why are you frightening the inhabitants of Gokul? What will you gain by this action? If you have come to challenge my authority, then I am prepared to fight you.
In this way, Krishna challenged the demon, and the demon became very angry by the words of Krishna. Krishna stood before the bull, resting his hand on the shoulder of a friend. Then the bull began to proceed towards Krishna in anger, digging the earth with his hooves. Aristasur lifted his tail, and it appeared that clouds were hovering about the tail. His eyes were reddish and moving in anger. Pointing his horns at Krishna, he began to charge him just like the thunderbolt of Indra. But Krishna immediately caught his horns and tossed him away. Just as a gigantic elephant repels a small, inimical elephant. Although the demon appeared to be very tired, and although he was perspiring, he took courage and got up again. Again he charged Krishna with great force and anger. Krishna again caught his horns and immediately threw him on the ground, breaking his horns. Krishna then began to kick his body, just as one squeezes a wet cloth on the ground. Being thus kicked by Krishna, Aristasur rolled over and began to move his legs violently. The demigods in the celestial planets began to shower flowers on Krishna for his wonderful achievements. Krishna was already the life and soul of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. He became the hero of all eyes. With Balaram, he triumphantly entered Vrindavan village, and the inhabitants glorified him and Balaram with great jubilation. When a person performs some wonderful feat, his kinsmen and relatives and friends naturally become jubilant.
Bolo Shri Krishna ki Jai! Kanhaiya Lal ki Jai!
In writing about the pastimes of Krishna, it would be incomplete for me not to describe the pastimes of Krishna and the gopis. Let us now go to the gopis in Vrindavan, where we see their mood of separation from Krishna. Here, the gopis, in that mood of separation from Krishna, are seeing prema, love, in all the residents of Vrindavan, but in themselves, they don't see any. They were focused on finding a way to witness and take Krishna's darshan.
We will go to Giriraj, offer puja to him, and serve him. And then we will attain darshan of Krishna, taking the cows out to graze.
Seeing Krishna and Balaram playing their flutes in the afternoon sun and taking the cows and calves out for grazing, the clouds burst with divine love, and like an umbrella shield their friend Sri Krishna from the sun, while showering tiny drops of rain that are like a shower of flowers. Now it is afternoon time, and taking the cows out to graze, accompanied by Baladev and the Gopas, Krishna has entered the forest. Desiring fresh grass to eat, the cows grazed on and on until they reached the rocks of Govardhan. The rocks were very hot in the afternoon sun, and the sand and soil below their feet were also very hot. Thinking that the cows and his friends were feeling some pain due to this, Krishna played the flute in such a way that at once the clouds gathered and began to shower soft rain.
Are so fortunate. We cannot be equal to them. We cannot render even a little service to Krishna. No one is as unfortunate as us.
Look how the creepers of the trees of Vrindavan are drooping down due to their weight.
They must have also taken Krishna within their hearts, because tears of love in the form of streams of honey are dripping from them, and the emergence of their fruits and flowers bear witness to their ecstatic rapture.
The gopis felt that all the other residents of Vrindavan were serving Krishna, but they themselves were not. They saw that even the clouds were serving him by creating an umbrella above his head to block out the sun, and by showering cooling rain on him. The gopis were engaged in kirtan, singing verses and speaking with each other. They were remembering the pastimes of Krishna by describing them and were revealing their inner feelings to one another. Hearing the descriptions of his pastimes, they became absorbed and felt that they were actually seeing him.
Jayati Tedhikam Janmana Praja Shrayata Indira Shaspadatrahi Daita Trisyata Tikshutavakas Twaidrita Savas Tvam Vichinvate.
But when the excitement from them diminished, they were plunged into the depths of their despair. By remembering these verses more and more, someday, in some lifetime, this beautiful bhav of the gopis' eagerness to meet Krishna will enter our hearts. Therefore, like the gopis, we must have great eagerness, always thinking, how will I meet Krishna? And think of him continuously. In the future, a great devotee of Sri Radha and Krishna will spread these intimate pastimes of the Lord across the entire world.
If you make your decision to make Krishna's desire fulfilled, then your life is success. That is your Krishna conscious life. Krishna wants it, I must do. I will not do anything for me. That is Vrindavan. All the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they are trying to fulfill Krishna's desire. The cowherd's boys, the calves, the cows, the trees, the flowers, the water, the gopis, the elderly inhabitants, Mother Yashoda, Nanda, they are all engaged in fulfilling Krishna's desire. That is Vrindavan. So, you can turn this material world into Vrindavan, provided you agree to fulfill the desires of Krishna. That is Vrindavan. And if you want to fulfill your own desires, that is material. This is the difference between material and spiritual. Just like the gopis are going to Krishna, being captivated by the beauty of Krishna. Therefore gopis are so held in estimation even by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are the topmost method of worshipping Krishna is the type of worship offered by the gopis, topmost.